Welcome to Deep in the Huddle.
Welcome to another edition of Deep in the Huddle with your guy, Nix.
And this is Messiah.
Season 1, episode 15.
Yeah.
In this thing.
My man.
In this thing.
My man, I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath.
Man, the season's starting to wind down and, it's been a journey, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just out of breath for you, man. You've been grinding, homie.
Ah, man, yeah, it's, it's the what would they call it? The process.
Yeah.
I trust the process.
I hear that.
So yeah, just away from the mic, just a lot of things going on behind the scenes with the stores and everything, and flipping over here, moving over there, and talking here, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Yeah.
Looks like I might have some stuff situated though coming here pretty soon. Still some major work to be done, but pretty excited if everything goes the way I think it's going to go here soon.
It should.
Yeah, I think so. Finally, I mean, it's been about 6 months or so of going back and forth with these people trying to figure out what they want to do with us. So
not going back and forth with you people.
Oh man, trying to tell you, trying to live my best life, sir. Just trying to live my best life. And
yeah, man.
Looks like it's about to happen.
Yeah.
What about you about the Madden. Like you kind of fell off on the Madden.
No, dude, I haven't fell off at all. I mean, I got screenshots to send you after this.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. Well, I was going to say, I know I saw they hit you whenever they hit the new little golden foils, and I saw the excitement through said message you were sending me, like, oh my god.
Yeah, pulled that 96 Kyle Fuller last night.
Oh Lord,
don't even need him. Don't even need him. I mean, I could power him up if I want, but I mean, like, I run a Giants / Chiefs / Ravens chem. So, like, I got Yanda, who I need to upgrade because he's got a new card out. I got Tyreek Hill. I need to upgrade him because he's got a new card out. There's a new Snacks because, he's the best, run tackler or whatever in the league this year. So,
hey, man, speaking of, whenever Cowboys were playing the Hawks, he was in the building with the old Woods jersey on.
I saw that.
Yeah, after this game against the Rams, boy, one of their snakes feels like taking a nice little deal and coming to Dallas. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
We'd like to get him in-house.
Hey, did you know over here, when I press this button, it cuts your mic off?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't care for that. I mean, y'all traded. Wait, he's free agent now.
Hold on, cuz. Let me get to that button right here. Yeah, go ahead and try and talk now. Say that snack stuff to the Cowboys again. Say it again. Yeah, you muted now. I just want to let everybody know there's a part right here where I'm talking and he is, and you're not going to hear a word. He's laughing right now, but I got the power. All right. So you're back.
I got the power.
So you're back now.
He had that jersey on though already. Just saying.
He sure did. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pickup though.
Hey man, we can all hope over here in Cowboy land after some of them run plays. Anywho, speaking of, let's go ahead and dive into these divisional round games, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, Colts Chiefs, and the number one seed did what number one seeds do. No time for the fake ones. Mr. Luck and the hottest team in the land did not care. They came into Arrowhead and tell you what, Patrick Mahomes had a paltry day for Patrick Mahomes, right? 27 of 41, 278, no touchdowns. That boy Damian Williams, 25 carries for 129. But the real story here, that defense, man. That KC defense,
showed up right on time, didn't they?
And I'll tell you, something about that, and this is why the home field advantage was so big for them. Like their disparity, their defense on the road in Arrowhead is huge.
Yeah.
It's almost like a 12 or 13 point per game difference. So it's like 31 on the road and it's like 18 at home. And you saw it. I mean, obviously, Houston being added back in, and if anyone's paid attention to this team, the defense has played better down the stretch, getting Justin Houston back and some other pieces. Now, obviously, unfortunately, Barry's still hampered and couldn't get back in for this one, but they didn't need him. Nah. They didn't need him, sir. They were all over the place. And, man, I mean, just hats off to that defense and what they were able to do to Andrew Luck and really frustrate them. Andrew Luck, 19 of 36, 203, one touchdown, was never really comfortable back there. And the one thing about playing that Tampa 2-style defense, which the Colts do, them seams and them tight ends can eat. And that boy Kelsey, 7 catches for 108 yards. So Kansas City defended the home field. They move on to the championship game, obviously, for the AFC, playing for that Lamar Hunt trophy. I wonder where that name came from. But I mean, what a run for the Colts, though. Still, at the end of the day, 1-5, ran all the way to the divisional round. Lots to build on for them. But yeah, man, hats off. Like for me, my biggest takeaway for me was that Chiefs defense showed up and showed out for this game here.
Yeah, this to reiterate, man, look. Sometimes those game threads that we have, in the huddle group, they can get lit. I mean, they approach probably as close to everyone sitting in the living room watching the projector screen at the same time, type of deal. So as we're watching this game, right? I mean, I don't know when it was. What did I say? I think it was the first quarter. And what they do, was it 3 and out? Like 3 or 4 times, I think it was Indianapolis State.
Yeah.
And then what did I say? I said, This is over.
This is
done.
Yeah, 14-0, 2 or 3 and outs, and you're like, it's over.
And what they do, they scored. I mean, what was it? I forgot the score, but it was like what? The Indianapolis had 13 points. I mean, they scored 1 TD, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, this is definitely the defense showed up right when they needed to. Yes, sure, they're missing Barry, but and there's guys back there, and they're playing, man. They're playing. And, for what it's worth, right? You got Mahomes, and Mahomes can do whatever you want him to do, okay? I mean, you want a 10-play drive? He can do that. You want a 3-play drive where, you got 1 run, 1 quick pass, and then 1 home run? He can do that. But them controlling the tempo of this game, always threatening to score, those are the kind of things, man, like, man, you get a team on their heels and it's like they don't know how to recover. And I'm sitting there watching Frank Reich on the sideline, and Frank Reich kind of looked like how Nick Saban looked around the 4th quarter in the championship game last week. Befuddled, lost, walls closing in, that type of thing. And when your coach looks like that early on in the game, man, it's a no bueno. So hats off to Kansas City, man. The defense was the MVP in this game. Straight up. I mean, Reggie Ragland showed up. Justin Houston obviously showed up. D Ford, Chris Jones. I mean, and some of these guys, they got to pay them.
Lots of batted balls. Lots of batted balls.
Some of these guys, they got to pay them, soon. So, definitely Kansas City got some things to hang their hat on as they move forward in this playoffs. I'm kind of hoping they bring that kind of heat when they go to or when the Patriots show up, in Arrowhead. And, man, just an amazing, amazing season so far for them.
No doubt. I mean, hell of a run for these guys so far. And then, of course, the other thing, too, just to note, and we've talked about this all year, just whether the balls are juiced or whatever the case may be, even when a couple of chances, there's a little steam to come in and Vinatieri misses a field goal. And he misses an extra point.
I think we talked about, I mentioned it last week. He's missed a few lately.
Crazy, man. Crazy stuff. But KC on the host. So the number 1 seed does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Then we get over to L.A. Cowboys visit the Rams. And Cowboys couldn't stop the run at all. at the end of the day, C.J. Anderson, who's been definitely a difference maker since he showed up there. He's over 100 yards every game for them, and that didn't stop. 23 carries, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Gurley added a 16 for 115 and 1. I mean, just whatever they wanted, at the end of the day with that side of it. I mean, now the report was afterwards, and, this is, everyone talks about how, Sean McVay and the effect and the ripple effect on some of these coaches' hirings and what these guys are looking for. And we'll get into some of that here in a little bit from some of these coaches. But they basically knew what Dallas was running on the defensive line.
Yep.
Said they picked it up, some tendencies on tape. Yep. Whether it was what hand was in the dirt, the way that they were aligned, and they kind of knew. And hats to them, great film work by them to pick up those tendencies. And it really showed. They were able to just have their way with the run game. So when you're able to do that and not have to force Goff to make throws, I mean, he only threw the ball. I mean, even though he threw it 15 to 20 for 186, but when you're gashing like that, not much to be said or done. And on the other end, in the trenches now, Zeke didn't have a Zeke-like day at all. I mean, for what it's worth, I mean,
go ahead.
Prescott played pretty good. Did 20 to 32 for 266, rush for a touchdown, threw for 1. Definitely kept them in it. You got it to when it was 23-15 in one possession game to get a touchdown, he goes out and gets another touchdown in the 2-point right. You got him to 3rd and 7. You just need one stop, and you got plenty of time and a chance to go maybe tie this thing up. And Jared Goff for the 8-yard scamper, the gut punch. Michael Gallup, though, for the Cowboys, 6 catches, 119 yards. Rookie record playoff for him for the franchise. But, man, that line up front on both sides, they didn't get to Dak a lot. But stopping the run the way they did, and then, of course, the other side winning the line of scrimmage and be able to run the ball the way they were, definitely the difference in this game.
Yeah. It kind of hurt my heart to watch Zeke had the day that he had, because I really thought, oh man, Zeke coming in here and he gonna try to ring these dudes up. I mean, I would think.
Oh yeah.
There was a couple plays though where Zeke got what's the word I'm looking for? Zeke got chin checked. And you kind of see, like, as he moved forward in the game, like, it was a little bit tepid. Now, I don't know about the play calling process over there in Dallas. I'm not going to make any mentions. But as I move to the defensive side of this game, the Rams scouting, this is analytics at work for you. The Rams scouting the way that a defender puts his hand down the dirt, man, I'm not saying NFL players aren't smart, because, I mean, somebody like Ray Lewis would be able to tell you that. Somebody like Shannon Sharp might be able to tell you that, right? And there's a plethora of other players, OGs, that we know that do film work that will tell you that. I know that tape department in there was busy. Busy, because, hey, we know if y'all let Zeke eat, we in trouble. You could be the Bears, you could be the Rams, you could be the Saints. You're in trouble. So hats off to them for doing that work. At the same time, Chris Richard and Rod Marinelli got their work cut out for them in the offseason with the people that they got and the pieces that they pick up, because they're going to have to learn, they're going to have to teach some techniques to their players, or at least have the chat with them. Please don't dictate what it is that you're going to do. Yeah,
that's like we were talking about it a little today with some friends about it, my brother, and I was like, man, at the end of the day, I said, basically, it's kind of like baseball. And sometimes pitchers get in these stretches where they tip their pitches.
Yep.
And this is kind of what the defensive line was doing for the Cowboys, and they were getting away with it. People weren't picking up on it, and boom, they took care of it. I mean, the Rams picked it up and definitely knew it. I mean, at the end of the day, the fact that they were able to keep it this close and as competitive as it was, I mean, literally, the Cowboys got 2 stops that night, 1 punt and a missed field goal. That's it. And to be that close, says a lot about the talent they have. defensive tackle, losing David Irving. I mean, and I've always said this before, and I've said this in the group, and I've said it to you. I mean, the conversations we've had, playoffs will always expose whatever your weaknesses are. That's what it does usually. A1 typically, right? And up in that middle, you know,
we say it all the time, man. Like, by the time you get to this part of the year, teams got plenty of tape on you, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Plenty of tape.
And they showed what needed to be done. Not just David Irving being missing, but they had a couple other defensive tackles depth-wise that was out. So definitely one of the things Cowboys need to look forward to, you know, whether it's next when we were talking about in the beginning or, you know, in that second round with as much defense in this draft, what they need to be looking for.
Yep.
You know, hats off to the Rams. You know, looked a little shaky there for a while for them after Philly went there and beat them, kind of straightened the ship and obviously onto the conference championship game. Man, I tell you what, sometimes you just find that little diamond in the rough, man. And C.J. Anderson has been there for them. That two-headed monster, as much as Gurley keeps getting better, they use both of them. If them boys get rolling, we can kind of see what they can do. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, both them boys are loads, too.
Yeah. Man, I meant to tell you earlier today. I'm not thrilled about this, but I'm so excited with the time that's coming, you know, after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They got on prospect for y'all. Coming out of that cupcake school.
Who they got? My boy Irv Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my dude.
Lord.
It's my dude.
Lord. Got no words. Lord.
Yeah, we can take some of that now. I'll take some of that action in the second round. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, top three positions definitely tied in defensive tackle and safety. And, you know, BPA of whatever those positions are when we pick. Be interesting to see, but time for that down the road. But yeah, I like it. Then we get over here to Chargers, Patriots, and quite possibly the earliest I ever flipped the switch on a game. Ever.
What'd I say?
I took a nap.
I think look. That seduces them.
Yeah, man. Look, not only did I take a nap in this game, I napped so hard I missed the first drive of the Saints game.
Hey, yeah, I napped so hard. Didn't I message you? It was like 7 minutes gone or 7 minutes left in the first quarter. I'm like, what I miss?
What I miss? I was like, man, I had to hurry up and get the damn thread up and everything else. I was like,
ugly.
oh god,
it was ugly, dude. Yeah.
Man, look, Chargers. I'll tell you what, man. And poor Phillip, he wanted to be Felipe so bad, and he was trying. He was doing everything he could. He just wasn't working.
Man, I just expected so much more from Anthony Lynn. I didn't think that he'd be like It was like, man, like, you know, a lot of these coaches, when they face off against Belichick, it's like that old movie Clash of the Titans with Medusa, and she stares at men. You know, the Greek mythology says she stares at men and they turn to stone. Like, that's how I felt like Anthony Lynn turned into, and I just expected so much better.
Well, you know, the defense that they decided to roll in there with, you know, just, I mean, the seven, you know, we're going with the 7 DBs all over again. And, you know, it just wasn't a good look. And there wasn't an adjustment ever. I mean, look.
No.
We can dial these. Look, we can dial. Anybody want to go back and dial up me talking about these damn Patriots? You'll hear me say, you know what they're going to do? I've been saying it. Their leading receiver this year is James White, the running back.
Mm-hmm. All the time, bro.
You got to do something with James White. And what does he do? 15 catches, 97 yards.
And I always chime in with the who's got number, whoever the running back is.
Right.
Who's got him?
And you know, they rolled in there with the zone, and you just can't sit back in zone, you know. And you got Bosa, you got Ingram. Come after Brady. We know everyone knows, look, the blueprint's been out there for over a decade. You have to get to Brady to have a chance. Sitting back and play zone, you don't have those kind of guys on that side of the ball, and you got your just desserts, and Tom Brady tore you up. 34 for 44, 343 yards. Mm-hmm. And then you'll like this, though. You're going to like this. I was going to tell you earlier in the week, but I didn't get a chance to. I was listening to the Dan Patrick show, and they were talking about the game and everything, and he was like, man, you know, they were talking about the running back. They had that 24 yards, 24 carries, 129 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's like, they were like, oh, is it Mitchell? Michelle? Oh, it's Michelle. And he's like, you know, don't just sound like the TV you need. Daniel Patrick's it's like, oh, I need that new Sony Michelle TV in my living room. I was
hey, and when I watched him galloping all over the Chargers that day in that game, like, what do you have? 3 TDs, 4, something like that. Yeah, 3. Like that's why I'm like, yeah, and then we could have got another O lineman because,
I mean, you're running. Here's the thing, though, they were playing underside safeties at linebacker.
Yeah, of course, but they ran the same. They were running the same deal they ran against Baltimore. I mean, like that's a different QB, different setup. Like y'all didn't need to do that.
Yeah, I just did not grasp that.
Need to do that. Like this is one of those games, though. Like if me and you were sitting next to each other, we'd be so angry. Right. We'd probably be like, you grabbing my shoulder, me grabbing it. Like, what are they doing? Oh my gosh, that type of stuff. Like I wasn't pleased.
First quarter able to keep it together, 14-7. In the second quarter, it just off the rails, 21-0. And I mean, and the Chargers just were like, their defense just couldn't. I mean, I don't even know if they smelled what Brady, put on for deodorant or cologne or anything. It was crazy. Definitely a Debbie Downer for them, as good as the Chargers have played this year. But yeah, that defensive program was. They ran to a bus, saw the Patriots. They were ready. That's all there is to it.
Man, they got a train running by my house, I think.
Ooh-wee.
Thing is rumbling.
Well, that's basically what the Patriots' offense was against the Chargers, was a train running.
Yeah.
Literally.
Pretty much. Yep.
And now they're on to Arrowhead, and they get to face the Chiefs. I cannot wait for this game.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go down the way it went the last time, bro.
No, I don't think it's going to be that high scoring affair like it was in Foxborough. I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same result neither.
Now we get on to Eagles Saints. And
they had them, bro.
Well,
they had them.
They came out the gate and had them. First pass, they go deep. Drew Brees underthrows, they get the interception, they score. I mean, they go up 14-0 in the first quarter. And then you didn't score anymore. And Nick Foles, 18-31, 201 yards, touchdown, two INTs. Yep. The last one, obviously,
that wasn't on him.
As Messiah was leaning towards they had him. Hits Alshon Jeffrey in the hands, goes through the hands, and Lattimore's there to say thank you, and we're gone.
They had
Saints
him,
get that 20-14. About that particular play in general, I just didn't like the fact that they didn't let it go down to 2 minutes. It's Drew Brees on the other side.
Right.
You get a touchdown here, you're only going to be up 1. Field goal wins it.
Outskate yourself.
Yeah, and it's first down anyway. Hey, 2-minute warning. We ain't got to snap this right here.
Right.
We ain't got to snap this right here.
Right. Right. And had already burned the timeout earlier in the half or whatever because of some misalignment or whatever the heck it was. Can't remember what play it was, but they had burned one in the second half.
Mm-hmm. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Tough. That was so tough.
Hey, he catches that ball right there. Stick a fork in New Orleans, bro. Stick a fork in them. Done.
It depends on how quick they score.
Right. But I'm saying, like, you stick a fork in them, man. And they had it. They had them.
Yeah. Hey, man, look. I can't say that because that boy Breeze and Michael Thomas were cooking.
Sure. No disrespect to Michael Thomas, man. He was doing his thing.
12 catches, 171 yards, and a touchdown, cooking.
Doing his thing, bro.
And then, they were just going so quick. I'm like, man, in my head as they were doing that. So I was like, man, don't step it before the 2-minute warning. I'm like, y'all need to get this clock down like under a minute. They only need a field goal.
Mm-hmm. Put them to sleep, though, bro. Put them to sleep. Like, man, and then Taysom Hill, like he did in the Bucs game. Taysom Hill, just from out of nowhere, blocks the punt in the Bucs game. This game, converts the fourth. Oh, man. Ugly.
I'll tell you what, man. Drew Brees, definitely in that first quarter, that look we talked about, I could see it coming. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But finishes the 28-38 for 301, 2 touchdowns and 1 IT. And like you said, once they kind of got that fake punt, it started rolling from them.
Yeah.
Now, not to make excuses for injuries. We know all teams have injuries and different things. But even in this game, Philly was dealing with some. Cox was in, he was out.
Yeah. They lost Brooks on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Brooks on the offensive line. Peters left for a little bit, came back, then he was out again.
Yep.
Some tough breaks there for them.
Bloodbath, like I said, though, was rough.
Yeah, I mean, hell of a season for the Eagles, obviously.
Yeah.
Definitely showed the heart of a champion in this,
I don't know about no heart of no champion.
Yeah, come on. Win 3 straight. The heart, sir, they remembered they were champions when their quarterback got in. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you go to LA and win that game. Yeah. You come home and beat the Texans.
Those are phenomenal feats, not gonna lie.
Then you beat a divisional rival in the Redskins. Then you go on the road to Chicago,
whoop them,
and beat Chicago, and then
come back home.
Get on a plane, go to New Orleans, and take them to the very end of this thing.
Yeah.
No, man. For me, definitely showed the heart of a champion. But again, the quarterback showed up. Now, Nick Foles is already out here saying, hey, the backup gig was cool and I gave y'all a freebie, but I'm ready to be a starter. So it'll be intriguing with him on record now saying that he wants to be a starter, how Philadelphia proceeds with that going forward. Now, of course, they have came out and said that Winston is definitely their quarterback. So either pick up the $20 million option and trade him, or you can not pick up the option and just let him walk.
Words floating around in the Pennsylvania area is they going to be on the hook for that one.
I mean, Philly can if they. I mean, Foles
the highest paid backup QB, won't he?
Well, here's the thing, though. Wentz salary cap next year number is only $750,000. So I mean, you would basically be spending if you picked up the $20 million option, quarterback position would still be under $21 million. That's a bargain in these days.
Yeah,
go out of some of them numbers,
Yeah,
but now, very very strategically, I would say.
Yeah,
Foles came out with the quickness. I'm ready to be a starter. So basically, hey, no $20 million option for me.
Yeah.
So
that's negotiation tactics, though.
For sure. And we'll see what happens there. But now, Saints will be hosting the Rams. I mean, we do have 2 rematches now.
Right.
In these conference games. And we'll get to some of that here in a little bit. So I'm definitely intrigued to see if we get the same results or not in both of these.
Yeah.
But with some of these teams leaving and some of these teams that have already been out, we have a lot of coaching changes. We have some new faces, some familiar faces.
Yep.
Some names that we thought were for sure going to be somewhere that are not. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get into second down here. Let's start with, how about Denver? Start with them Broncos.
The Broncos, eh?
Them Broncos.
Brought themselves OG.
Yeah.
Themselves an OG over there now.
Vic Fangio.
Yep.
In there.
Yep.
But, in true John Elway fashion, this has not been a smooth transition whatsoever. Because your idea was getting Vic in there to do the defensive thing and bring Gary Kubiak from, the front office down, and y'all couldn't come to an agreement, and now Kubiak's gone to Minnesota.
Right. Yeah. And the plot's hatching over there because the son's like the QB coach or something like that over there.
Hey,
yeah, the plot's hatching over there to take over our old boy. What's the name? Mike.
Oh, Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer. Yeah.
I brought it up to you when we were talking about maybe these coaches not being in and out. And I was like, hey, that was a little iffy situation with what happened this year after they paid the quarterback and whatnot. So definitely pause that and see what happens there going forward on Minnesota. But as far as the Broncos here, I with some of the pieces that are there on the defensive side of the ball with Fangio coming in, I definitely like that. I'm definitely feeling that.
Yeah.
Again, it kind of goes back to, what are you going to do offensively? There's been a lot of debate, obviously about Case Keenum. I think they have to ride Case Keenum another year. Find some pieces to go around. We know the run again can be strong. And with the defensive head coach, you kind of feel like he's going to want to run that ball a lot, little ball control and let his defense get the rest and do what they do. I'm excited, but I like the hire. I do like the hire, though.
Yeah.
They've been around a good grip. For those that don't know, San Francisco 11-14. Obviously, the Bears 15-18. Long history. I mean, he's been connected to whether we're talking about Dom Capers, Jim Harbaugh, Jim Morris Sr.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. We are in the playoffs. And Denver's trying to find the way back to it. Don't have to worry about scheme because the pieces that are there, we're not switching from a 3-4 or a hybrid type scheme going back to a base 4-3 cover 2 or something like that. So like the hire makes sense there because the pieces on defense fit what he does. If you notice and watch and paid attention to what he's done in Chicago and San Francisco. Again, man, I'll say it. I've said it once. I'll say it a million times. Until something with the Elway and the ownership gets fixed, I don't know where this franchise is really headed.
Yeah, that's one of the important things that needs to happen during this offseason for them. The next important thing probably that needs to happen for them is draft picks, and those being the right moves. So, I mean,
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, they draft 10th. A lot of noise being made. Last week we were talking, Haskins and, some other also-rans, the Will Greers, the Daniel Joneses of the world. And,
oh, yeah.
Last week we were just saying, no, Kyler Murray's going to play baseball. And
now here he is.
Now he's trying to jump in the draft. So, the draft just changed with that announcement, especially if he goes through with it. And because, some circles it's a power play, to get me, because now analysts and, these mock drafters out here are saying he's projected to go in the first round. It wasn't even a second or third round consideration. So when you can go in the first round and probably go top 10, you're going to make the same amount of money. And heck, a lot of the places that would draft him, he's probably not starting right away. So that's going to be the easiest $15 to $20 million he's going to earn in his life.
Right.
So,
but yeah, for me, Denver, maybe not a quarterback this year. You definitely got some pieces and some holes to fill. I don't know about a quarterback this year for them, but it's John Elway. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Let's go over here to the Cleveland Browns. The Browns. A lot of people, very early on had pegged Green Bay. Mr. McCarthy headed there. And then, of course, you had Bruce Arians said, he would definitely come back and coach there, which he's coaching, but not there. They took a little extra time and decided to ride with the offensive coordinator, Freddie Kitchens. Our last cast, we kind of had a conversation, and, I said, it's taken so long, I would keep it status quo. But my status quo was Greg Williams, the head coach.
Yep.
Just how it is.
Yep.
I mean, there's things to like about Freddie Kitchens,
yep.
But I mean, obviously it's time with Bruce Arians, in Arizona.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, my nickname for him now is Bruce Jr. because he spent a lot of time around Brucey, and right. some of that moxie and that style, he's got that.
Definitely
got that in him.
So I mean. But again, first-time head coach. Let's see where it takes him. I'll be interested to see because they went ahead and they did that Arizona's former head coach, Wilkes, as a defensive coordinator. I'll be intrigued because he's more of a zone guy. If you pay attention to the Carolina Panthers and the defense they play, a little bit more of a zone guy than a man-to-man. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out there. But, I mean, obviously he has pieces on defense. So it'll definitely be a shift in what they do from what Greg Williams was doing on defense to what they're going to be doing with Wilkes now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously you want to keep, I don't want to liken this to Tampa Bay whenever they kept Dirk Cutter because Winston was, played so good his rookie year underneath him. They have a good connection. Let's keep him on to make sure we develop this quarterback right. And there's a little bit of that, sprinkled on that.
And they do have a connection though, him and Baker.
Right.
Freddie and
I
Baker,
I hope it works out better than what we kind of saw in Tampa with Dirk Cutter and them.
Yeah, they I mean, just different things. And it's, I mean, like, I had heard the story about Kitchens going to Baker and asking him to write down his 5 favorite plays. And found out, in doing some of this research was, he did the same thing with the offensive linemen. So for him, it kind of was like, those answers helped him understand what concepts his players were most comfortable in. And many of these plays now are like staples of the offense. And now you can veer off or provide different looks within the same set to, help with scheming or game planning, for games as you move along throughout the season. And I think they're going to be okay. Side note, Kitchens used to be QB at Alabama years ago. But I think the things they're going to have to worry about for Baker is obviously his continued development, them and their blocking and protection. That they're definitely going to need to work on that a little bit so that Baker doesn't have to scramble to make a play. He's deadly when he scrambles to go make a play, kind of like, Kyler Murray is deadly when they scramble and go make a play because they can throw with accuracy. It's just one of those things, man, where like you're going to have to go get you some pieces to make sure everything's shored up. I like the defense. I like them. I just, this offense and worrying about the coach who's never been a head coach, trying to get this team underneath him and all the other day-to-day that goes, that's a part of that package. That's the only thing I kind of worry about. And, and of course, I hope that it doesn't affect Baker,
Right. Yeah, no doubt. So it just, I'm kind of a wait and see on that.
Yeah,
it's kind of a wait and see. I mean, I understand organizationally what they're trying to do here. And look, and fundamentally it sounds great. We got the rookie. He's played well. My God, they've won more games than probably the past 3 or 4 seasons combined with him and what's going on there. So you try to do that. I will say this. I do like the defense coordinator they brought in there. He's a solid guy in this league. Yeah. We know what he's did over in Carolina, some of the defenses in Carolina that he's had. Yeah. The one thing that worries me some is going from that Greg Williams very attacking style, switching over to this zone. How is that going to translate? Now, you got the offseason. I know they're professionals, but still, it's a little bit of a culture shock in how they're going to do things. Yeah. I'm intrigued to see how that defense is going to do in this new zone setup. Now, I'm with you. Again, this offseason, their biggest thing, especially early in the draft, let's go find that offensive lineman. Let's solidify that line, not only just for protecting Baker, but hey, Nick Chubb, let's not forget about that rookie and how well he played. Right. And let's open up some more holes for him even, too.
Right. All right. And I was going to add, though, they have, when you're trying to field a team in the NFL to put the best product out there on the field, man, to be honest with you, like, the Browns have a lot of the equation solved. I mean, they have the QB. They have the running back. They have wide receivers. They have a tight end. They've got some defensive pieces. And, as luck would have it, if you look over the pot of gold they got a rainbow in the 12 picks they got in the draft. So they got a first, a second, 2 thirds, a fourth, 3 fifths. And now certainly some of those pieces can be used to move things around. But like, you got 3 picks in the 5th round. You got 3 picks in the 7th round. Hey, let me tell you a story. There's a guy who's a center in Alabama named Pierce Schbacher. Stud, can play any position on the line. You know where he's projected to go? 5th round. You want somebody like that? You can go grab him in the 4th or the 5th round. You know what I mean? Or you could take a couple of them 5th round picks and slide them to somebody if they snatch him in the 4th round. That's a good pickup.
Yeah.
Because, as we've been saying, in case anybody hasn't heard us the past few weeks or longer, there's so much talent in this round defensively. You're going to be able to go shore up your line. You're going to take care of your defense if you got a lot of picks. But if you're a place like Cleveland that got 12 picks, once you get done handling what you need to handle the 1st, 2nd, 3rd round, you can do what you want to do in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds because, hey, in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds, they got 8 picks. It's kind of hard. It's kind of, you know what I mean? A lot of people, hey, you wouldn't want that problem over there in Dallas? Shoot. That's a lot of things you could do with that. So, hey, man, I wish the guy luck. And I I hope for Baker's sake, and I know this is a team, but, Baker and Nick Chubb and, guys like Jarvis Landry who had a struggle in Miami, and come, to try to find some place to go win and live out his dream. Like, guys like them, I hope it works out, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, obviously, trending in the right direction, finding the quarterback and whatnot, and we'll see what this coaching staff at this, as it's constituted now, can take them to the next level.
Yeah. Now
over to the Green Bay Packers in the frozen tundra. Mm-hmm. Go get a guy that I really like, Matt LaFleur, cut from the Mike and Kyle Shanahan tree.
Yeah.
Spent some time with the boy wonder out there in LA and the Rams as a quote unquote the de facto offensive coordinator, but we know McVay was calling the plays. Right. And then of course we saw what he did. Well, and let me not forget, quarterback coach for the Falcons from 2015 to 2016, couple of seasons there. Right. And then of course offensive coordinator we was able to do with Tennessee last year.
Right.
I think the biggest thing he's going to bring to the Packers which is needed is that patented Shanahan zone run scheme.
Yep.
I think that's going to be big in a big way coming for them. Just some. Go ahead. Go. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know what you're doing, but
go ahead.
I like the hire. I don't know what to think here because he's only got one coordinator hired right now, and that's Mike Pettin. Good DC.
Oh, no. I got an update on that. He has an offensive coordinator now.
Who is it now?
Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh, it was Hackett he hired? Oh, wow.
He went with Hackett for offensive coordinator.
All right. So they looking for special teams right now.
Yeah, and they did retain. And now here's my thing as well. Mm-hmm. Let me kind of get to a little bit of this. Not only did you keep Patine, who's a holdover from McCarthy's staff, they did keep two assistant coaches as well. Now some of these are defensive side of the ball, but you got they retained Jerry Montgomery and Brian Archelicho. So some familiarity for some of these players. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't know. Brian was hired by McCarthy as the tight ends coach in 2015. Mm-hmm. He previously worked with Cleveland under Mike Patine as well during those years. Not sure about the other guy, what they're going to really do. They want to retain him and kind of refile him to see where he's going to go.
Oh, look, let's not waste our time digging into those right now. Okay,
yeah,
let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. I'm not saying what you're saying is not important. Let's get to the point. Okay, we need to tune this roster so that so that we can make Green Bay great again. Okay? You got 2 picks in the first round. Make them count. You got 10 picks overall, but them 2 picks in the first round gotta be grand slams. Not home runs. They need to be grand slams. The type of Darius Leonard, Saquon Barkley, Juju Smith, those type of picks. I'm not saying those are the positions that you need. I'm saying that those picks where everybody goes, oh, and their eyes are open, mouth open. Yeah, where everybody climbed on the board the train for Juju and Darius and Saquon. Those are the kind of picks that you need to make. So that above all, you need to make sure that Aaron Rodgers is comfortable. You setting him up to succeed, and all them draft picks you got, especially the first 2, grand slam.
Right. Yeah. As far as offensive coordinator with Hackett, who's 39, Bills offensive coordinator 13 and 14, and Jaguars offensive coordinator 16 to 18. Mm-hmm. So there's his background there. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: can A-Rod be healthy again? I mean, that's going to be the biggest key to a lot of that. On the offensive side of the ball, can he be healthy again to the point where it can make Green Bay great again? I think, obviously, the run game, like I said, I think the biggest thing that the floor is going to bring to them is that zone run. And if they're able to eat and not have, and we can get A-Rod to throw the ball 25 times a game instead of 30 plus, I think that bodes well for Green Bay. I don't know. I don't care for Patine being held over as a defensive coordinator personally. Good for them. I think they could have went out and maybe did something a little bit better there. For me, here's my thing, I guess, what it boils down to. When you've had a holdover for so long in the place, like a McCarthy,
right?
I think you got a clean slate everything.
Yeah, I get
that's
it.
That's just how I feel about that. But
I get it.
I'll be intrigued to see LaFleur what he brings to the table. And and if A-Rod, we know he can be a little snarky, a little passive aggressive, and see if he really this offseason buys into what they're selling. That'll be the first hurdle. And if A-Rod's all in and buys into it, then the second hurdle for me will be like you just talked about with the draft picks and what they need to go get to bring in there and to get this thing to flourish. And then, of course, once they get to the season, is A-Rod back to being healthy, or he's old enough and now he's just, McCarthy and company rode him long enough till he broke down and he can't stay healthy anymore.
I don't know, man. I brought this up earlier, and you kind of like dismissed it to a point. Mm-hmm. This thing with A-Rod, man, that dude got love in his heart right now with an old girl that used to race cars. Let me tell you straight up. The minute she go, it's time to domesticate, that's a wrap. A-Rod, and they probably already had them talks because I could see the way that A-Rod approaches press conferences right now. He really doesn't have a care. I seen A-Rod in the press conference and you ask him a dumb question and he gonna go nuts on you. Not nuts, but he's gonna quietly assassinate you with his words or his responses to the point where you won't ask him that question again. And lately, at least this season, since he's been in that relationship, it really didn't matter. You could tell it didn't matter to him. The only thing that we got out of him of note this season was jump on a plane, go to X team, beat them, come back home, beat X team. And I just think he's at that point in his life, personally, where he's like, hey, man, I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Real talk, this money that y'all gave me, this is for the past. And, you kind of got me in this state now, where I'm dealing with injury after injury after injury after injury. You ruining my legacy. And I'm going to just take this money and run. Personally, I think that's how he kind of feels right now. His responses in press conferences, nah, bro. That don't sound like a dude that plans on playing out his contract.
Maybe. I think to me, I akin it to people that get burned out in retail. Yeah. And he was just burnt out on his coach. Yep. And he's like, I'm just done.
I think that's part of it too.
And now that McCarthy's out of the way, I think that's going to put some wind in his sails and go forward from there. But again,
watch the move they make with Clay Matthews too. Watch that move too. That's his buddy.
Yeah, we'll see, man. It's a new day in Green Bay for sure.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. So we'll see what happens going forward. On to my very absolutely favorite hire of this offseason thus far. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers landing Bruce Arians.
Big Bruce.
Getting Mr. Leftwich as the offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And even though it was a little bit of a hiccup there for a split second with Todd Bowles, landed Todd Bowles as the defensive coordinator as well. Man. Absolutely, unequivocally, my favorite coaching staff hired to date in this offseason.
That was a dub.
Oh, yeah. Huge dub.
That was a dub. I know everybody's sitting there going, he's old. Oh, that was a dub. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Bruce was making headlines before a lot of these analysts was even on TV. Y'all need to relax.
Yeah.
Big Bruce.
Yeah. And unequivocally, this absolutely sets Jameis Winston to be the best he can be. Yep. We can literally now say, as much as we've been on this program and backing him and talking about him, I know I am. I think you would agree, Messiah. I am completely comfortable with this setup. I think if he's going to succeed in this league, this is it right here. Mm. That's how I feel about it. I think it's really that kind of a hire for him.
It's the quality coaching. that I've been speaking of all season. You know what I mean? You know, Lovie Smith do it for you, quality coaching? Nah. Dirk Cutter? Nah. If they'd have fired Dirk Cutter and kept Mike Smith, quality coaching? Nah. I'm just saying, like, this is Bruce Arians being hired as the coach for the Bucks, for Jameis, is the kind of hire that makes parents proud. They're happy to see their child succeed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right. So, like, Jameis's parents, they're at home going, oh, my goodness, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you're going to succeed.
Right. You know, I mean, never mind the fact this offense and what it did with him in there, you know, this last half of the season as well. But now in this coaching and whatnot, super stoked to see that for him. And it's set up, you know, and then from the organization standpoint that I like is if for whatever reason it doesn't work with Jameis, you have the tools needed there to go forward to get a quarterback in, and those guys have time to get to where you need to go. It's just one of those hires. It makes sense for the current staff or the current roster that they have. And for God forbid, if something doesn't work with some of these pieces, no problems. This coaching staff has enough time to correct that ship. And for the first time in a long time, Tampa has some stability up front.
And you're not going to hear about your head coach fooling around with some player's girlfriend. You're not going to hear about some head coach making some dumb statement on radio like, think we're going to take the Bucks defense this week and go practice in the snow. You're not going to hear. I'll tell you what you definitely won't hear. You won't have players coming out and making dumb statements in the media.
Right.
And if they did, that you wouldn't hear about them being corrected by the head coach or someone else on that staff. I can tell you that off rip. Yeah.
You won't have players leaving practice and then just not going to play on Sunday and then stand on the sideline.
And because, hey, look, we don't cuss on this particular product that we have. I'm going to tell you straight up. If anybody was to so ruffle a hair on the hat of Bruce Arians got that old school dictionary, that cuss word dictionary. He got words for you that you may not have ever heard before, but when you hear them, they coming from the diaphragm, and you're going to understand exactly what he means when he says them. That's not the coach that you want to mess with. We've seen that dude on Hard Knocks. We've seen that dude in other scenarios. And let me tell you something. I ain't got to say this because you already know this, B, but
yeah, go for it. Shoot. Let him tell him. Talk your stuff.
No, I'm saying, like, look, this is me and you. I ain't even gotta say no words to you. I'm looking at you right now. You looking at me, and you already know, right? That dude's done worked with some. Hey, look, he's worked with Peyton Manning. Y'all know Peyton Manning's reputation. You ain't telling Pepe nothing. Pepe's gonna tell you what he's doing. He calls the plays. Now we're Bruce around there. Hey. He's worked with another QB who's been in the spotlight lately, throwing people under the bus. You think if that QB was with Bruce, he'd be doing anything like that? Big Ben, sit down. And you're going to get a whole bunch of cuss words while you're being told to sit down.
Yeah, that was circa 07 to 2011.
Hey, and that was the same cat. Hey, Chuck Pagano was out over there in Indianapolis. And hey, there's a plenty of mic'd ups where Bruce Arians, where all you getting is ba 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 with the whistling because the beeping, because there ain't too many normal safe English words that he uses, but you get the point.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So, hey, Jameis, you don't know what you just unearthed as your head coach in Tampa Bay. You don't even know.
Take advantage of all of it, man.
All of it.
All of it. Now on to maybe the most intriguing press conference of all the new hires.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even see this, but I saw like a couple of clips.
Yeah.
Not even clips, like memes, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. Adam Gase to the Jets, replacing Todd Bowles. I mean, here's the thing. I saw somebody post, "What in the booger sugar is this?" And then it took me right back to, now let's not forget, was it like 2 years ago, one of their coaches, was snorting lines. Was snorting the lines and talking to, the little girl or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, maybe that came from Adam Gates' personal stash. I don't know.
Oh, see, no, don't do that.
I know. I'm just saying, man, if you haven't looked it up, dial up the press conference. I don't know what was going on. Look, man, all I'm saying is, I'm old enough and been around long enough, and I've done some things in my life and been around some things. I'm just saying. I'm just going to say Mr. Gaze was altered. Take it for what you want.
Nick Saban may want to go talk to him after he gets talking to the little assistant that he got cussed out on the way to Michigan.
Yeah, man. I mean, he is the Saban tree now. Yeah. Oh, man. But obviously, this is the hire. This is, quote unquote, for me, we're trying to pair the offensive coordinator of mine with the young quarterback. I mean, a lot of people seem very high on it. Now, I was high on Gaze going to Miami. I was. And for what it's worth, if you dial up the record of Gaze whenever Tannehill was healthy, it is a winning record. I will say that as well. But that press conference makes me not feel so confident. I don't know, man.
I told you how I feel about the hire.
Yeah. They need to. I mean, they have the cap space. They got some picks. They need tons of help on offense. We definitely know that.
They got the picks.
They got the picks, man. They got this cap space.
The only thing that I'm happy about on that staff. Oh man.
Okay.
I wrote the thing down. The only thing I'm happy about with the staff is they're about to ink Greg Williams for their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I mean with that, obviously with again, it's a scheme fit because of the personnel, what he likes to run, and of course being aggressive with those guys that they got, and they got some dogs over there now. Yep. They got some dogs, whether it's we're talking about Jamal Adams or Leonard Williams. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they got some dogs over there. So I like Greg Williams there. I think Gates can do good. Again, they got to go get him some help, though. And for me, and this is why I was kind of out on Gates, especially this last season. We talked about it a ton on this program. Me and you scratch our head consistently. Why are we running Old Man Gore 20 times a game and not giving it to the young buck?
I'm going to tell you straight up. I knew you were going to say that. Don't go waste your money and get Le'Veon Bell. I mean, if you're going to do that kind of stuff, let Le'Veon Bell go wherever he going to go. San Francisco, wherever.
Yeah. I mean, I just didn't really. I mean, Frank Gore's a free agent, wants to play again. I mean, I tell you what, Jets, if
Frank Gore winds up on your roster like how Jonathan Stewart wound up on my roster.
Oh my Lord,
my goodness!
I just definitely but we'll see going forward. Yeah, not my most favorite hire, and of course the other thing too is like especially like some of the things we heard towards the end of this year and it's kind of handled some players.
Yeah, when you got players talking about you on your way out, that's a bad look.
Yeah,
it's a bad look.
And look, and that's in Miami. And no disrespect to Miami. I'm not saying you're not a football town or this or that, but you're not the same spotlight that New York is. Nah. And the media, then the lights are going to be a little bit brighter there.
Last time the lights were that bright was when Braun was there. So
right. So we'll keep a look on that and kind of see what happens.
Well, they're gonna have to play Moneyball over there too, though. Just to add, I mean, they got 6 picks in the draft. I mean, they got a first, they got 2/3, but they got plenty of cap space.
Yeah, they got that cap.
So they're gonna have to make that move. And I tell you what, though. Also, don't go get Antonio Brown. Not for your squad. Don't do it, Adam Gase. You won't be fired. Don't do it.
Well, let me ask you this question. We're going to sidetrack for just a second before we get to this last coaching hire. Now, Antonio Brown came out today and said, or Jerry Rice rather said, so we'll take a little grain of salt, that Antonio Brown wants to be in San Francisco real bad. Yeah. What is it going to take? If Amari Cooper was a first-round pick, okay, is is Brown a straight up first round pick, or is he extra? Is he two? I don't think he's two. In my opinion, he's not a 2 first round pick guy. I think first and a third, maybe.
I mean, he went in the 6th round. No. He outplayed his deal. Also wore out his welcome.
Yeah.
Not saying that he's completely at fault in this situation. The QB's got some culpa, mea culpa in this. The head coach has got some. And ownership has kind of got some, right? And
everybody's got a hand,
right?
Everybody's got a hand in this.
But let's, when Bruce Arians says, "I seen too much diva in you," and that ain't the same player that they drafted in Pittsburgh, you probably got way too many things on the negative scale for anyone to consider spending more than a first on you, or at least more than one first on you.
Right.
So, I think teams are going to play this however they want to play it. Whoever wants to jump in that pool first and dance with the devil, go right ahead. Let's see what you offer. You know what I mean? Kind of,
okay.
Somebody offers a 2nd round pick. Hey, cool. Offer a 2nd round pick. Cool. We can do a 2nd and a 4th. Okay, well, such and such is going to do 2nd and a 3rd. What you going to do? We're out.
Do you think it's a possibility he won't get, or he won't bring back a 1st round pick?
Oh, I didn't say that.
I'm asking. No, I'm asking. I'm just asking.
No,
you think somebody scoops him for a 2nd?
30-year-old receiver. Looks like he could probably play another 3-4 more years. If you're on the cusp, maybe you.
If he puts you over.
Yeah, he puts you over. Like, I don't think this is a great idea because it's you guys, but Antonio Brown on the other side in Dallas?
Nope.
I don't know.
We got a 1st round pick, thank God. No. No.
Sure. But,
next.
But I'm saying, like, it.
I think I like him with. I hear.
I like him with luck.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I like him with the Colts. Like, to me,
him with luck. And that coach can handle him.
Yeah, like to me, when I kind of survey the land and look, I'm kind of like, the Colts could send a 1st. They got plenty of money and enough draft assets to do some other things. And then you give him and T.Y. on the same field. I really would like him there, and especially now because for me, I know you would still say maybe Le'Veon going there. To me, I'm sold on Marlon Mack personally. I think Mack's their guy. Plus, they got Naheem Hines already there, the rookie this year, who's to change their pace. I think they're okay there.
I'm just a guy like you say Saquon, or we both say Saquon's a stud, right?
Oh yeah,
but
sure.
You're not gonna see me jump up and go, "Oh man, he's the man." I can't put him in the same class with Zeke yet because Zeke been playing for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But we know, we see the potential, right? So you can see it, right? He's coming, right? So but homie, when people was talking all that nonsense, like, we only got 12 games in. What you mean?
Hey man, but hey, there was the only two running backs over 2,000 yards this year from scrimmage. That's the two you just mentioned, Zeke and your guy.
Yeah, but like
volumes.
I said, maybe he's a bad example, but just understand my thought process. Like, the way that we think, we're always the guys. There's a lot of football left,
for sure.
You know what I mean? We're the guys that's always going to say, when I say stuff like, "Man, this is over." Yeah, sure, I'm watching because anything can happen. I've always said that anything can happen. Don't flip this around and think that, oh, well, we up 4 touchdowns to somebody. This is a wrap. And it's we ain't even got to the second half yet. Nah, it's not over yet.
Yeah,
so, my mindset's always going to be like, hey, man, let's see how it plays out first before we start, like you always, like to remind people, or Parcells, like, don't crown them yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of stuff. No, put away the anointing oil. That type of stuff. That's the way that we kind of live. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Antonio Brown. We'll get back on track here. Antonio Brown in San Francisco, Indianapolis. What other places need a receiver? Dallas needs one. They don't have a first-round pick. We're assuming that that's the buy-in to get Antonio Brown. Is at least one
okay
first.
With Gallup. It's okay.
No, Gallup's good. No, Gallup's good. Here's what I'm not okay with. Dak needs to work on his connection with Gallup.
I mean, he just threw him 100 and some odd yards in the playoffs.
How many overthrows we seen on Gallup the last 3-4 games?
Hey, but he connected though.
Hey,
four passes over 20 yards. All right, hey, he's making progress.
Hey. Gallup though, yeah. So
I like that kid.
So anyhow, sure do like him. Maybe
Colts definitely jump out. Yeah,
I don't know if Carolina got room for him.
Yeah, I mean that would be something too. Jets need. Wouldn't be the first time a Pittsburgh wide receiver went to the Jets. Santonio Holmes, Antonio Brown, they need one. Now, I don't know if Antonio Brown's really interested in going to the Jets at this stage of his career. Just saying in general, would be a nice weapon for them to get.
I think watch the moves that's being made. If Antonio Brown finds a deal somewhere, here's the only way I look at it. If Antonio Brown goes to San Francisco, Odell Beckham Jr. might be on the clock.
All right, let's get on some. Oh, Lord, I ain't even going to go down this rabbit hole.
Hey, I'm just telling you. Them two dudes over there in Frisco, bro.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. Anyways, the last coaching hire, the most curious of all coaching hires.
Yeah.
Cliff. I had a losing record at Texas Tech, was USC offensive coordinator Kingsbury. I don't
oh, you made me laugh this week. Oh my goodness.
Steve Wilkes, Clifford. Steve Wilkes was the head coach there for 1 year with a rookie quarterback, and they said, we're getting rid of you. And then, the reports were they threw the complete control tag at Mike McCarthy. He said no.
Yeah.
And they went after Cliff.
Sound like they threw it at him while the GM threw it at him while he was drunk.
Right, man. Maybe so. Now, this opens a whole different can of worms because, we have the surfaced video of, how much he loved one of these little quarterbacks that just decided to enter the draft all of a sudden.
I think he's going to try to draft him, bro.
Then, of course, we had the backdoor of how much he loved Jeff. Jeez, God bless America. Rosen.
Josh.
Jeff, Josh. How much he loved him and the way he throws the ball and how natural it is and everything. As far as coaching staff, he's got the staff kind of put together. Vance Johnson, obviously, done well as the defense coordinator in this league and obviously has some head coaching experience. I'll be intrigued if they've interviewed Jim Bob Cooter, former offensive coordinator for Detroit. I think that would be a nice hire there as well. Definitely surround him with some guys that have been around the league a little bit, and have had some success. Obviously they have the number 1 pick. Lots of ways they can go there.
Got 7 picks in the first, in the draft. Yep.
But I don't know, man. This is. I'm wildly interested in this just because it's so unorthodox of a hire, right? It's just. In general, he just so unorthodox altogether. No NFL experience outside of being a career backup when he was in the league. Obviously, we know he put up huge numbers at Texas Tech when he was a quarterback. We know, right? Obviously, they're going. The direct link's going to be.
It's always going to be. Well, look at what he did with Mahomes, and look at what he did with Baker.
Right. That's the key here.
That's the first thing on his resume.
Yeah, the calling card, if you will.
That's his calling card. Yep.
That's his calling card. But you had now. You had Patrick Mahomes, right? Overall, he was 35 and what was he? 35 and 40 as a head coach. I'd have to dial up and see what it was with Patrick Mahomes.
It was 35 and 40, but also don't let me slip out of this segment without giving this dude his respect. Davis Webb, I mean, Davis Webb was a stud. You know what I mean? Got himself hurt. You know, and I tell this story all the time. Like, Baker couldn't even get on the field because of Davis Webb. You know what I mean? And they had Patrick Mahomes right behind him. Okay? So, like, let's understand that now. Let's take those three names and just stick them in a box. And I want you to, you know, you take the lid off. And we're staring in this box now. You had Davis Webb, who was the stud QB at Texas Tech. And they had to sit him down. The only reason they had to sit him down was because dude was playing with a bum shoulder, and they didn't want him to hurt himself. No, don't do that, and had to sit him down. And then the legend of Patrick Mahomes began. So, like, realistically, right, all three of them dudes are studs. And, you know, to be fair, right, I mean, Davis Webb lost in the shuffle. Now he's the backup QB in New York in the Jets. I mean, like, I don't know what happened there. I really don't. But I mean, people want to go dial up tape. You know, if you hear this name and you go, man, wasn't he with the Giants? Go dial up that tape on Davis Webb. Tell me what you see.
Right.
You know.
I mean, obviously, it lets you know Cliff has an eye for a quarterback talent.
He got talent, yeah, definitely that.
Maybe better eye for quarterback talent. You know, if they needed to draft one, then say John Elway and the quarterbacks he's drafted.
You saying he should have went to Denver?
I'm just saying if maybe Elway could have called him and said, hey, who should I draft a quarterback? And maybe they would have got one right. I don't know. But neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But you go to a position where, you know, you have, you know, basically a one-year starter now.
Yeah.
That you vested a high pick in. And I just, like, I mean, okay, cool. You worked with quarterbacks that was really good. I just, like I said, this is the intriguing part. Like, how is this going to translate to the NFL and what this game is today in that said division with the McVay and stuff? And, I mean, of course, he uses that calling card, too. Oh, me and McVay are good friends. And, you know, I've studied some things and we've, you know, off-season and talked about, okay. All right.
That's the running joke of the week in sports media, right?
Right,
I had coffee with McVay twice.
We shared a donut. Hire me. I don't know. I mean, you still got to do what that cat's doing out there. So, I mean, like I said, to me, just how unorthodox this whole thing is. Hey, but you know, I'm pulling for him. You know, I mean, you look at him and say, hey, man, it's a good-looking guy. No homo. You know, he could maybe should be on The Bachelor, not a head coach in the NFL. But hey, he's there.
Yeah. I definitely made a mental note of all these male models getting hired for coaching jobs in this little round of coaching hires that they had. I mean,
right.
You know, McVay, you know, just recently, and, you know, you got Cliff Kingsbury from Rochester, you know, representing the Kingsbury, you know, clan, and, you know, Matt LaFleur from the Virginia LaFleurs, you know, from the family tree of the Shanahans of California, like that. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is like, it was like Dynasty, you know what I mean? Like the soap opera with all these male models. Like, I'm looking for, you know, I'm looking for, you know, the director to come out and yell "cut" in the middle of the press conferences. With all these damn, you know what I mean, these pretty boys, and I'm like, sure hope you can coach as good as you look, boy.
Young and all that for sure, no doubt. You know, I think for me though, I think Cliff. The only thing that worries me about Cliff here is I liked him going to USC, be the offensive coordinator, and maybe building that program offensively and going everything.
Yeah, we had that talk last week.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, I think he is a good coach.
You could have wrote your own check if you went to USC and turned that program around.
You know, but I mean, as I've heard many of coaches say, old school to new, when the NFL calls, man, you pick up the phone.
Of course. But, you know, with Cliff, man, like I said to you last week, like, bro, I much would have rather seen you go to USC, turn that program around, get it back in contention, talking about it again, you know.
They come out your check where you want to go.
And then, look, hey, right or wrong, B, let me know. All right. Cliff Kingsbury goes and turns USC around. Now they in the Elite Eight 2 years in a row. Maybe in the Final Four one of those 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, owners is firing coaches
right,
to get at Cliff Kingsbury if he does that. Don't care who you. There's only a couple coaches that ain't gonna get fired. Heck, one that's only not gonna get fired if Cliff Kingsbury does what I say he does, and that's Belichick. That's the only coach whose job is safe. Know what I mean? So,
hey, man, and there was a lot of people with the talks when he was going out there of, yeah, he'll be offensive coordinator this year and he'll be head coach next year.
Yeah, well,
just that
of
quick,
course.
There was a lot of that talk.
You know how it goes. You know,
yeah, there was a lot of talk of that.
It's the setup, kind of like there's somewhat of a similar situation percolating in Minnesota, but I definitely say that in the USC situation with Cliff Kingsbury of the Hampton Kingsburys, yeah, definitely that was the move. And things didn't go right.
Right. And also, too, just before we get out of here, I mean, not just those guys that you named at Texas Tech that he dealt with and what he had success with, but, I mean, he also, when he was at University of Houston, Case Keenum, you know. And
still holds the records for yards, completions, and TDs.
And, of course, everybody knows what Johnny Football was at A&M.
Yep.
You know, and he was there as a quarterback coach and offensive coordinator for a year in 2012 as well. So, I mean, obviously he's had a way with quarterbacks and turning them around quick. And, you know, that's what they're going to be looking for. We think it's Josh Rosen. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe somebody, that'll be an intriguing thing going forward.
Remind me to tell you a joke today about, I had a conversation today with somebody, it was a Giants fan, about Case Keenum. Yeah,
all right. 10-4, will do. Speaking of which, let's get over here to these conference championship games. The rematches, if you will. We've seen these before this season.
Yep.
We actually saw this Rams-Saints game in New Orleans.
Yep.
You know, the Saints jumped way out on them, and then the Rams came thundering back, just came up a little bit short.
Yeah.
And that's basically the difference in, you know, who's at home and who's on the road this game, to what it came down to, actually. Man, just obviously there's a new character in the cast with C.J. Anderson being there for the Rams and what he's been able to do since he's been there. Man, they said, you know, his
wife's pregnant.
His lady is pregnant, and he's kind of just got some of that weight as well. That's what they were saying. Right. I'll tell you what, it hasn't slowed him down none. Fresh legs, because we're still trying to get the license plate here in Dallas of that guy that just ran over us.
Shoot, this guy still got bruises over there on Dallas defense.
Hey man, look here, you know, it's like you know, when he was playing over there Carolina, you know, and back in Denver as well. It's like, you know, he's a good, you know, he was a stocky guy and fit, and then he came back, looks like the bus.
Yeah, sure did.
He just busted
Jerome Bettis.
And just out here busting people up. I said, Lord, look at CJ. Oh, and they got him for the low. Like, dude, it's not even like $500,000. Like, they got him for the low though. It's so crazy.
Keep messing around out there though, your boy. Hey, make sure your boy comes back right over there in L.A. Hey man, because they might wind up with that D'Angelo deal, like how they did with D'Angelo when he left Carolina and went to Pittsburgh. Might be one of them deals.
Well, end of the day, Tiger looked pretty right last week. He started out kind of slow and then went to busting up them heads. We're still trying to get that license plate Dallas too from that kid too. Lord have mercy. Almost 300 yards against us. Now we know what the Saints run defense does.
They put a stop to it.
Yeah, and they better bring the hard hat, because they're not bringing just Gurley this round. They got someone in tow in C.J. Anderson.
Hey, let me ask you something real quick. Same subject. Just a side question.
Sure.
What do you think? I mean, I have my idea, but
okay.
What do you think? You know, you said the Saints. You know, they're run stoppers. Obviously, we know what the rankings were this year, as far as you know, run defense. But
side note.
Go ahead.
Sheldon Rankins is out though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's a big blow.
That's the plug. But the Cowboys Rams games. You think that was more scheme, or was that the injuries and the rotation over on the O-line for Dallas?
I just think when you line up and you got a run call, and you know what's about to come from the defense line, especially whenever you're running a stunt, man, you know where to run it then. And that's tough. I don't care what kind of dogs you got on the other side. If I know, you're looping here or looping that side, and I can run directly into that loop and get that wash on the linebacker, it's just tough. I think realistically, it's just that coaching staff did a great job picking up on us tipping our hand on what we were going to do. And now, again, you still got to have the dogs to go do it now.
Yeah, you definitely need to
have the dogs, yep. But when you got the dogs to go do it and you kind of know, hey, man, that's just a tough combo. And I mean, hey, look, the Dallas defense, we know what they've brought this year and what they've done. And one punt, man, that's it. Whole game. One punt. Hey, sometimes you just got to take your head out to the other side and say, hey, great job. And that's what the Rams did, man. We can talk about the film and whatnot, but, I mean, even outside of that, they had the dogs to go do it as well, too.
Yeah, them analytics, though. Sheesh.
Tough, man. Tough. Hey, but that's where coaching puts you in the position to win, and we talk about that a lot, man.
Yep.
Exactly. no matter what you're, how good you are physically and as a player and stuff, you still got to have a coach to put you in a position to win.
And side note, there's a lot of that kind of talk going on in Tampa Bay right now from them coaches, the Todd Bowles of the world, the Bruce Arians. There's a lot of that going on.
Right.
Yeah.
No doubt. Now,
careful NFC South.
Now, one thing I will say about this game here, again, rankings with the torn ACL is a huge blow for that defensive line in the middle.
Sad.
New Orleans Saints fans, if y'all decide to start slow again like y'all did against the Eagles, the Rams might blow the doors off that dome down there. Just keeping it 100, just letting you know, hey,
keep it a stack, bro.
Yeah, Drew and company. Hey, ain't none of that 14 nothing. No, coming out the gate throwing picks. No. Don't do that, because if you get into a position where you have to throw the ball, Dallas was able to kind of keep. We ran the ball enough, even though it's 20 carries for like 40 yards for Zeke. My goodness.
Yeah.
And we hit some plays down the field, but you just don't want to get. You just don't want to get into that with them.
Yeah. And they're one of the. Some teams. You gotta be able to survive that first salvo, know. And then there's some teams where they come out, they got their script, they play you, they play their game, and if they're behind, halftime they make adjustments, and you need to watch out for that come the second half. This team here, they give 0 F's about your script. Heck, they ain't even got a script. On defense, maybe. On offense, nah. That team right there, you better be careful. You better do. They not only are they front runners, right? But like that team right there, they jump out ahead of you, cause they go in the half. Everybody goes to the restroom, relieves themselves, come back in. Talk about what adjustments they need to make, eat some orange slices, and they back out on the field thinking of new ways to do you in the second half. That's the kind of offense they got. Like that's the one thing about that coach that I probably haven't spoke on enough with McVay.
Yeah.
That dude, for the most part, he don't take his foot off the gas. He don't. So, hey, Sean Payton, I know you Captain Betty. I'm just telling you, cause don't get caught up in that OG, caught up in your feelings, how they do that to us. How dare you? Do you know who I am? Talking about, eating gumbo with Marcus Peters, either one of y'all, don't get caught up in that. There's way too many pieces out there that they got that you don't over there in New Orleans that you need to be very, 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 very afraid of. That thing over there is starting to look like the greatest show on turf too, a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely, they had that little lull. Yeah. And then they found that they kind of found their stretch out again, which Saints kind of did that a little bit too. Again, one thing we will definitely see early on is, Rams can talk, and say certain things. We heard Peters talk about that with Sean Payton and whatnot. But I will say this. We'll find out if the Saints are in their head from that first meeting. Quick. We'll find out.
Maybe so.
We'll find out.
I mean, you know what? It honestly,
because the Saints was the first team to really punch them.
Right, but this thing, and we discussed it before, Sean Payton didn't have to go down that road. It was unnecessary for him to be talking to a player.
That's true.
You shouldn't have done that, Payton. You have more respect for yourself and your reputation than be doing that. Okay,
that's
all right.
They are.
You ran into the right one. I mean, all the talk we heard this week, on and off about the pushing and the shoving between Peters and Amari Cooper. And some of the things that were brought up, you know what I mean? About Cooper and him being soft and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Hey, for what it's worth, careful now. Marcus Peters ain't no joke. That's number one. Number two, you know who we hang out with. Old Beast Mode. And Beast Mode's on that roster when Amari Cooper's over there. So, that dude might have a little bit more insight than other people do. I digress, though. That whole deal with the Saints and the Rams coming up in this game, don't blink, because you could find yourself getting beat by 3 touchdowns or better.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about this. That is, I mean, either way, right?
Right.
Either
exactly.
way.
Either way.
Either team, you just this little cough or a stumble right here, and all of a sudden, boom, boom. And they're up 14, 17, 21 real quick, intriguing game. I definitely think the Saints, I'll be intrigued to see how the Saints make up for Rankins not being there. And I definitely for sure expect the Rams to attack that early on to see, okay, well, Rankins is gone. What are y'all going to do to stop this run? And this is the other thing about McVay too. Mm-hmm. If you don't stop, some people they'll have it good and they'll go away from it. Not him. If it's working,
no,
that's it. We're good until you show me you stop it. We're good.
Yeah.
And of course,
unless his running backs hurt.
Yeah,
like what happened in the
what
Chiefs
happened with
game.
Gurley, right? Now and Payton's got a little bit of that in him as well too.
Right.
So yeah, man, I'm intrigued. And of course, we talked about the tag team belts earlier this year.
Mm-hmm. The OG versus the young Thundercat.
Yeah, and the OGs, retained the belts. Hey, guess what? The belts are up again, player.
Yeah.
Hey, the belts are up again, except this time, this ain't like, a house show for you wrestling fans out there.
Yeah.
This is like wrestle.
This is live, yeah.
Yeah, this is like the Royal Rumble to go to WrestleMania. Yeah. So, it's going to be good. And then we get another OG to the youngest of guns. Patriots at Chiefs. They got to go to Arrowhead, and now Arrowhead has been a house of horrors at times for New England and them. Also, this is the largest disparity in age of starting quarterbacks ever in a playoff game.
Yeah, that's a nice fun fact. Let's get to the game now.
Hey, young, old. I mean, Chiefs. If you paid attention last week, James White, the running backs. Hey, they like to throw to him. Let me tell you something. Gronk isn't Gronk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying you can go to sleep on him. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I'm saying if I'm game planning for the Pats, and you talking about Gronk, you might as well just go ahead and put a red X around him.
I'm just saying at this point, you can't pay so much attention to him that you forget about the running backs and go to sleep on them, or they will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, not to be disrespectful in a lot of ways, though. And I'm like, Wes Welker, no, running backs, no. You know what? It's really to that point in his career. Okay, Gronk, if you can beat us, so be it, and we'll live with that at this point.
Yep. Ice you up though.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll see if he has a game in him, but he hasn't had one in him really all year long. Go check the tape.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sony Michel on the ground, but here's the thing: as we know, when it comes to the Patriots, it might not be the Sony Michel show on the ground. The one constant I know is we know Wes Welker, and I definitely know that James White is going to get the ball thrown to him. Those are things they'll have to contend with. And then, of course, Patriots on the other side. I mean, you got the All-Pro cornerback. What did I say? You said Edelman, didn't I?
Sorry, Welker.
Did I say Welker?
Yeah.
Well, Welker, Edelman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then on the other side, of course, I mean, you got a couple of apparently all pro corners for the Patriots, and here comes Patrick Mahomes, and we know what he does. Now, y'all have to contend with Kelsey a ton if you not paid attention last week and what's going on, which I'm sure the hoodie will have something to try to dial up for that. Man, it's just the momentum and stuff, man. Hey, look, the Patriots, what a run, right? 8 straight conference championships.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, record. Won the division for, I don't know, was it the 10th straight time?
Yep.
I just think they don't have enough. When you look at that roster on the offensive side, I just don't think they have enough to get the job done in Kansas. I know, right? And it's blasphemous. It's the GOAT, right? Supposedly, Tom Brady and everything
ain't
else.
Blasphemous to me.
But I just, man, if the Patriots get this done, I would be almost shocked. I really would. I think I just don't see it. I mean, I think here's what I think they'll do. I think Kansas City will go in and say, hey, look, or the Patriots are going to go in there and say, hey, look, we're going to let that running back, whichever one they want, Williams, rush for 100 yards. We're going to give up that. We're going to own and give up 100 yards. We're not going to let Patrick Mahomes beat us. And then the thing in the back of my head that I hear every time when I see him, whether it's get away from a sack or roll out, throw back across his body, or the 3/4 arm throw, or whatever the case may be, is Messiah's voice in my head. B, you can't game plan for that. And as good as the hoodie is, all I hear is, you can't game plan for that, B. And I just, I think Mahomes is going to be, at a certain point in this game, I think the legend Mahomes is going to grow astronomically, and I think he will be the difference in this game.
Yeah. There's only maybe 2 people on that roster that are faster than Patrick Mahomes. One's McCourty, Devin, and the other might be Sony. Sony don't play defense.
At all.
That's the first thing. The next thing is that linebacker core that you got over there, they all right. Couple pieces you got on the end, Flowers. They all right. I mean, they could make they can make Mahomes pay.
I will say this: Flowers is kind of, in my opinion, Flowers is kind of slept on. Flowers has had a pretty dang good year.
Yeah.
He's a little slept on. Don't go to sleep on Flowers. He'll wreck your game. If you go to sleep.
Of course he will ruin your game plan, because all of it, like, you won't hear nothing from Flowers. You'll forget that he plays, and all of a sudden he shows up in the next 3 big plays that happen on defense. And you're like,
yeah,
whoa, we forgot about him. What's the tape on him again? So,
right.
Honestly, man, I just really think, like, passing of the torch, I think it's about to happen right here, bro. I think it's about to happen right here. Like, for as much as what's going to go on in the Rams and the Saints game, okay? OG versus Young Thundercat. Look, I'm going to tell you 2 things that ain't going to happen, okay? Number 1, Patrick Mahomes ain't going for no foolishness in this game from nobody on the offense. You hear me? If you've watched him as he's matured throughout this season and how he handles huddles, coming out of huddles, after plays, telling people where they need to be, where they ain't supposed to be, why they dropped that, the look he be having on his face, yeah, Patrick Mahomes ain't going for none of that. And I'm going to tell you straight up, this week, he's probably been yelling in practice all week going, we ain't going to have no repeat last time we played these suckers. Beast Texas here. Understand? I'm telling you, that's the way the kid's talking to people in practice this week. He's setting the tone. I guarantee it. The second thing that ain't going to happen is for as much maligned as this defense was this whole season in Kansas City, and you see how they showed up last week in other games, closing down the season.
Yeah.
Right.
That's them at home.
Hey, let me tell you what. This defense ain't holding back in this game. They ain't going to be, we had Tom Brady in our clutches and he got away and scampered away for 7 yards to get a touchdown because we were afraid of getting called for. Nah, I'm telling you straight up. Defensive coordinator over there probably telling the defense right now, hey, look, man, if you get a call, you get a call. They didn't score a touchdown. Cool. But I'm going to tell you straight up, we going to have to make this dude tap like you said earlier, right?
Yep.
The game plan has been out there for 10, 11 years. The New York Giants showed it to you in 2007 in the first Super Bowl. And then we did it again in 2011. If you don't know, now you know. And better yet, Chiefs, my only warning to you is do not go to sleep on the Pats once you get up on them, if you get up on them. Because 28-3.
Say it again.
I don't need to tell you what happened after that. But there was a team that was up on the Pats in the Super Bowl, 28-3. And they had Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, they wasn't up no more. So when you put your foot on the gas, Kansas City, Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy Reid.
Because me personally, when you said, how you see whatever playing out in this game, man, I don't care about none of that. You know what? You know what's on my mind the whole time you're talking? Andy Reid can't mess this up.
Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about that before. I mean, to me, I think a lot of the times that he felt like he had to protect his quarterback, and we went through the list of the quarterbacks he's had.
And respect to the OG, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just like,
no doubt.
But you can't.
I know. But I think with this quarterback, he's not going to have that feeling of, hey, I got to protect him from his. We got this lead. I got to protect him, make sure this. And I don't think it's that way with him.
I think you might. I think this QB might have a moment if you call the wrong thing on him.
Yeah.
He knows where he is in his career. So, you might have a moment.
Going to be interesting. I picked Kansas City. As the playoffs got started.
Right.
I had the Bears on the other side. They didn't make it.
Yeah. I
tell you what, though, I think the home teams are going to get there, man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Chiefs and Saints. That's who I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Now, I absolutely believe in my heart of hearts, no conspiracy theories from here, no tinfoil or nothing, that the NFL would absolutely unequivocally love a LA team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts for that market, to really get the fan base energized there. And also, with that being said, the new stadium coming, I think Drew's got one more swing left in that old bat of his to get over that hump.
Yeah.
I'll save the Super Bowl pick from there for me. Interesting side note, we've talked about this all year with some of these high scoring games, and defense wins championships. These are the 4 highest scoring teams in the NFL. Let me say that again. The 4 highest scoring teams in the NFL. And mind you, no team that's ever averaged over 33 points per game has won a Super Bowl. Looks like some things are going to change here soon.
Yeah,
and
there's going to be some new stats to track.
Yeah. We'll definitely have to, at least for this year, the old adage of defense wins championships, a little skewed. So now the Saints definitely probably have the best defense left in this thing.
Yeah.
But the Denver's, the Chicagos of the world, the Cowboys of the world, yeah, man, Seattle of the world, even, just Baltimore, if you will, even in that defense. Yeah, man, offense is reigning supreme here. Can't wait for this Sunday, man. It's going to be legit. I am so.
You called it though. I mean, that was one of the things that we've talked about over the last couple seasons. Like with the NFL and them in these high scoring games, like this is what they want. You know what I mean? So I mean that
Super Bowl you saw last year, it's big yards, big scores. It's not that they don't want defense; they want timely defense.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't talk about the Super Bowl last year if you don't talk about the Tom Brady fumble when he got hit and smacked and fumbled. That changed the aspects of the game.
Mm-hmm.
No different than the Chiefs and Rams game earlier this year, which was 50 whatever to 50. First team to ever score 50 points and lose. But when you look at the game, you had turnovers, you had defensive touchdowns. It was timely defense.
Right.
That's definitely where they want to go.
Glad though my prediction on the rep coming out from the South, from the NFC South or the NFC West is holding true right now. So definitely proud of that. I'm also more proud of Patrick Mahomes. I'm happy for the kid, and
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If I would be supremely upset if the Chiefs don't make the Super Bowl. And nothing to do about however I might not feel about the Patriots.
Yeah.
Just for that kid to come out and Andy Reid to be this close, and I mean the 5K yard, he's the MVP of the league.
Right.
And battling with that defense and doing everything he's done, losing. I mean, these cats lost.
Put that defense on his back, dude. That dude put that team on his back.
Hey, lost the top 5 running back, arguably.
Yep. Yep. And we forget about that, right? Because it's died down so bad. Like, it's died down so much now you don't even hear about it. But yeah, you forget that, he lost his running back for the year. Like,
and I will say another underrated thing that they had against some Colts as well, and he played pretty well, looked pretty healthy. Sammy Watkins. Yep. It's another layer there that the Patriots got to pay attention to.
I want to see if they're gonna get old Bam Bam involved.
Yeah, that too.
Benjamin.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
Just give him another Popeye's biscuit and make him a tight end, baby. Go double tight end.
I mean, if I'm the Chiefs, Bill Belichick looking to take something away from you. What's it gonna be? You ain't got nobody really to keep up with Tyreek. I mean, McCourty's gonna pop a hamstring trying to run with him.
Yeah, I mean, but they know about Gilmore over there now. Gilmore's
but Gilmore got put in the wash last week, bro. A couple times. I seen that. But anyhow, he's gonna try to take one thing away from you. Whether he's gonna funnel linebackers and a safety around Kels, or something else. Like, he's gonna try to take something away from you, man. Kelvin Benjamin, I'm deploying that dude as a strictly as a rub artist. He going in there to just rub people, so Kelsey can get off, Tyreek can get off.
Hey man, I tell you, I'm almost willing to bet the Hoodie's idea is to not let it ain't gonna be an individual in the passing game. He's gonna go with the mindset of not letting Mahomes beat him. I'm telling you, man, they're going to give up a ton of rushing yards. I really think the Patriots are going to give up a ton of rushing yards this game. They're going to forego the run. I think we might see a ton of 3-man fronts from them even. And they're going to deploy, I think their idea is to frustrate Mahomes into making a mistake. I truly believe that's going to be the route they go. I think they're going to drop 8 into coverage. I think they're not going to give anything over the top. And Mahomes is going to be super patient in this game. That's what I think. Now we'll see what happens and how it plays out and what they scheme on the other side of that ball for them. But if I'm willing to, if we're putting money gun to my head, if you will, I think there's going to be a ton of 3-man fronts. And look, it wouldn't be the first time that you saw one defensive lineman and a whole bunch of linebackers just standing there.
Yeah.
Them just drop all of them and rush one, maybe 2. Yeah. I think it's going to be that kind of game for them. But we'll see.
Belichick's the first thing he's gonna do is go find the Baltimore Ravens tape. That's the first thing he's gonna do. The next thing he's gonna do is he's gonna go find every game where Mahomes threw an interception, and there's not many of those. And he's gonna look at the looks that he got when he threw that, and he's gonna try to put something together, along with a heavy dose of Baltimore Ravens strategy. And I can bet you that the talk in that defensive room, especially linebackers room, is probably going to be, and defensive line, is probably going to be, hey, every time, hit him. Every time, put your hands on him. Put your hands on him. He's going to get tired of it. Because those are the same kind of principles and concepts that Belichick used to teach when he was coaching with the Giants.
The only thing I will say that, while I don't agree with, especially the hitting part, if Belichick tries to dial up the Baltimore tape and institute that, he does not have those dogs.
No, he doesn't have the personnel for that per se.
He doesn't have
but
that.
He may be able to give them some looks.
I got you. They're frustrating.
And but there's also something to be said that even if you may not have the personnel, hey man, QBs, and DBs, they have to develop a mentality where they kind of forget. Got to have amnesia.
No doubt.
But if you give somebody some looks to frustrate them and they start having deja vu, well, it's a whole different ball of wax after that.
Yeah, man, no doubt. I'm excited, man. I'm ready to see it.
Definitely
like I said, I got the number 1 seeds, man. I'm going Chiefs Saints. Then we'll get a nice maybe Super Bowl Super Show or something. But yeah, definitely excited for that, man.
I think I'm of the mindset of this Chiefs Rams. Not nothing against Breeze. I mean, if you want to talk about the fixes in, well, then maybe, Breeze is gone.
Yeah, I'm not going. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go that far. The fixes. I know the NFL would definitely. I mean, A, they like to see the Rams, and then of course, B, I mean, that Chiefs Rams game from earlier this year, and you get a rematch of that. I mean, the storyline's there for sure.
That's what I'm after. I'm of that mindset that get another matchup like that. Time for you to start. Dialing up that. What is it? Oh my gosh, how did I forget the name of that? Time for you to start dialing up that Final Cut Pro over there in the TV production studios and start creating them montages, so you can start building them stories on the next generation of quarterbacks, man.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you get Saints Patriots, I mean, it's the old guard still holding the gate and not let the young bucks in. And,
I mean, it's a great storyline and all that. I mean, if you want to tell that storyline, but I'm not a fan of that. These young boys worked hard out here, man.
And I'm with it, but there's going to be a ton of people that will. And I mean, I'm here for Drew Brees getting a Super Bowl and going out on top.
I feel you there.
I'm here for that in spades.
Yeah. I'm here for my guy though. Year 2. Yeah,
he's got time. He's got the MVP. It's good enough.
Yeah.
If Drew can get him one, I'm
pretty hot dogs in the concession stand so you can put that ketchup on there.
Man, I mean, he's gonna get that Whataburger deal soon.
That Whataburger.
Facts.
Yeah, boys.
I guess that'll kind of do it for us this round, man.
Sheesh. And you said an hour.
Did we get? Yeah. Well, I said maybe we could get to an hour. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I knew it.
I guess real quick, just to touch on something that obviously there's a couple of coaching vacancies still. With Cincinnati and Miami. Reason being, the word is for Miami is the linebacking coach from the Patriots,
Flores.
and then of course over in Cincinnati it's the quarterback coach for the Rams. So wait to see on those stats, but that's majorly the holdup there for those two teams. Everything else though for now.
Yeah. What's up, man? What you got? What you got happening?
Oh man.
You seen a shout out to Corey Ellert, man. From the Deep in the Huddle group. He's a fellow New York Giants fan. He sent us the recommendation for a Ruth's Chris in Tennessee. But, I was trying to come to Texas and heat it up over there.
Yeah, but shoot, we might as well just go ahead. I mean, the draft ain't but a couple months away now.
Okay, well, I mean,
Yeah, Terry, I mean, look.
You're saying you don't want me in Texas is what you're saying.
No,
don't come there.
No, I'm saying, no, you already been here. Stop it. What I'm saying is.
You're saying don't come there, though.
What do you mean? You can come here anytime you want to, but you can come here and then we can go to the draft, but we can wait and eat at the draft. It'll be a place we never ate before. That's what I'm saying.
For sure. I hear you on that. But the sushi joint we hit, that one, is that sushi place still open the last time I was there?
Talking about the Kobe's?
The one that I went to. Yeah, we all went to. The night where the damn waiter or waitress dropped all them platters and stuff.
Yeah.
All the sushi. Just clang. Yeah.
Tragic. Yeah, no, it's still open over this way. Actually, I had a roll from them a couple of nights ago.
That was good sushi though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we got a couple of little sushi joints out this way, no doubt.
Damn,
no doubt.
But don't need that many. That one was good.
No doubt. Yeah, but that place, boy, I went and looked it up a little bit from Corey. I'm like, yeah. Get your wallet ready, sir.
Well, we got one out here in Tampa. That's why I was like, it was quality. They out here in Tampa. Mm-hmm.
That's
part. That's like $250 for two
Feeling
people.
Feeling that. Hey, shout out to Baker. Shout out to Baker Mayfield getting me fed and full when we get here for this draft.
That's quality right there. You gonna have a couple of drinks with that?
Yeah, I mean,
you want a bottle? You want to get a couple of bottles, or you just want like a couple of drinks?
I was having a couple of drinks, kind of, kick back a little bit.
I mean, if you want to, you know what I mean?
Back a little bit.
That might just be me and you, though. I don't want nobody. Man, it's $100 for the whole dinner. You're right about that.
Yeah,
you're right about that. There is definitely the waiter walking out with a $50 tip, $60 tip. Yeah, it's that kind of party.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the steak is, man, they come out and give you a whole meat presentation, everything. They show you all the steak. Look at this. The strip is like one of your hands. Look at this ribeye. It's like one of my booty cheeks. You want this porterhouse? It's like my chest. Look at this. You're waiting for a cow to moo. with all the meat they got on the plate.
Man, look, you got my mouth watering. I'm over here. I'm ready for it, man.
Me too. But hey, man, I think we'll be back next week, Tuesday.
No doubt.
Yeah, next show, and we'll talk about the hap. What was the haps?
The haps on the crabs, man.
Yeah, what was we approached the Super Bowl coming? Can't believe the season's over like so quickly, man. Can't believe
That's like we blinked, it was gone. Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. But I think that's it, man. We'll holler back next week. Deep in the huddle. We're gone.